What stuck out to you? We'll go to an offensive player and a defensive player, but I know you got there, what was it, last week? You got there a little bit late because I know you've been on the
Right,
recruiting trail with your
right.
son, Ivan Taylor.
Yeah, I would say probably Kenny Pickett. Kenny,
Wow.
from it's night and day from last year to where he's at now, from like his read progressions, to his decisiveness, to his natural leadership, to his ball placement, so that's what I'm looking at with Kenny. I'm like, golly, like them 4 years in college really do matter, from a maturity standpoint, on and off the field, Mark. So I'm just gonna go with Kenny, man. I'm really liking what Kenny is doing. He's taking command of this offense.
Like, you make this easy on me because I was going to ask about him to say, have you noticed a difference between year one and year
Big
two?
time, big time, Mark. Like a huge leap. Like nothing. Um, he's just an even kill kind of quarterback, but that's just his personality. Like he's not rattled about nothing, Mark. So that's on and off the field as well. So to play quarterback in the NFL, you gotta be a smooth criminal, so say. And that's exactly what Kenny Pickett is, man. Kenny just he go about his business, handling his business, getting better, understanding what it is to be a leader, a general on a football team. And you can tell, Mark, from last year to this offseason, it's major leaps and bounds.
Is it a body language thing, Ike?
No, it's just a maturity level. So I really think, just my personal opinion, Mark, I really think staying 4 years in college really did help this man. Not and let alone, don't forget, he's already a cold weather baby. He's from New Jersey, came to the University of Pitt, already understood what it was to be in the city of 412, became a Yenza and get drafted by the same team that right next door to your college. So he didn't see Big Ben. He didn't heard the history. He didn't see guys go in and out that facility. He understand the tradition. He know the legacy, what it is. So it's like, man, for you to actually, get drafted by an organization, and I went to college in the same city, man, that's a storybook telling. Even the producer couldn't produce that. So he just know what it is and to understand what it is to play in cold weather. And that's what guys really don't understand. You always get, as an organization, you always get quarterbacks, who know how to play in the cold. And just, Kenny, he was born in the cold, west coast of PA, really on the east coast, came to Pitt, stayed in Pitt for 4 years, and wind up getting drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers. So you just really see the maturity level, on and off. Just got married this offseason. So it's a lot of maturity. It's everything you're looking for a quarterback. You want your quarterback to be clean cut, shave, make good decisions, because that quarterback is the face of the franchise. And that's just Kenny by nature. Mark, he ain't even trying to. That's just something he do. So, you know, as a CEO, man, you feel good about going to bed at night knowing your head man ain't gonna make no bad decisions. You know, so that's what I love about Kenny.
Kenny Pickett, you've got University of Pittsburgh, former quarterback, Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback, husband, and cold weather baby, Ike. We've got to
Right,
update his social
right,
media
right.
profiles.
Yeah, that when they look on the profile, and if Kenny listening to the show, he need to edit to what we just said right now because he all of the above.
Absolutely, Ike. And you, in all seriousness, you mentioned the face of the franchise, the CEO.
Right,
I just watched the Netflix Johnny Manziel documentary, and
right.
he even says this at one point. I was live tweeting as I was watching it last night, Ike. And this is
Uh-huh.
something where, in terms of being the face of the franchise, the CEO, someone who the accountability starts with me, and then that's contagious to your teammates. It looks like the Steelers have one. With Manziel, that was never going to be the case when, his agent is saying, hey, he didn't watch a second of film
Yeah, that's
during his
crazy.
time in
That's
Cleveland.
crazy.
And
That's
it's funny
crazy.
just because I watched that last night and I hear that, you talk about Kenny Pickett, and it's just like, look, it's not to compare Johnny Manziel, but it's, a
Mm-hmm.
facet of quarterbacking in the NFL and what it takes to achieve success. You've told me that from day one on this show is when you're the quarterback, those are the responsibilities that come with it beyond just, hey, can you make the throw? Can you make the play? Can you, there's a lot more to the quarterbacking position than just the physical abilities, Ike.
I mean, the physical abilities is going to be the physical abilities, right? Because you've been playing, quarterback for a while since you were small, probably. But I mean, the maturity level is everything, Mark. I'm putting this organization as a CEO. If I was a CEO, I'm putting this organization in the hands of who? So you really got to do your research when it comes down to drafting,
Yeah.
especially high, in the first round,
Mhm.
with these quarterbacks. Because man, if not, man, you set your organization back 4 to 5 years when you do things like this. So, Pittsburgh hit on Kenny Pickett. Uh, they did all their research, and their research team didn't have to go far. All they did have to take 14 steps, open the pit Panthers door, and go right upstairs. So they did everything they needed to do, and they wound up getting the right one in my mind, Mark.